So I became a mom and everything changed. And I'm going to tell you about what exactly changed since 2020. I was pregnant, I didn't even know it, for 4 months. I was hopping in and out of trucks, delivering packages. My mind was in continuous denial. I saw the signs, I felt the signs. Boobs were sore, completely ignored it. I thought it was due to me lifting heavy packages. And this was in 2020. So when Corona had really popped off and everybody went into isolation, quarantine, whatever it was, we were out there delivering packages and like it was normal. Day to day, lifting, going home, getting tired, and I didn't know I was 4 months pregnant until my partner at the time was like, you know what, you need to go to the doctor. And lo and behold, I found out I was 4 months pregnant, and the doctor was like, congratulations, you're pregnant. And I was just like, ma'am, please. No. And during that time, I was just like, you know what? I already was pregnant for 4 months and worked. I'm going to chalk up the deuces and leave as a full-time FedEx driver. And my boss at the time was just awesome enough to create a job so I could stay at home and be able to be with my baby. So I was home most of my pregnancy, and I'm very thankful for that. As I was growing a human inside of me, there was so much inner transformations happening. I was more creative. I was realizing more and more things about myself and my childhood as I was, carrying a life within me. So, that creative force and just reflection, just as 2020 left a lot of us in reflection. 2021, my daughter was born. I had a home birth. If you have not watched that video, the quality isn't all that great, but if you want to take a look at my home birth video, and I'm going to leave it in the description. But my home birth was beautiful, and I was very intentional about what I wanted during that time. How did I want to feel? What did I want around me? And just had me feeling like I could do anything. It made me feel like Spirit chose me to be a mother, and how grateful I am for that. And as the months went along, my needs changed, and that affected my relationship. And I acknowledged, what is it that I need more of for myself to transition to another season? So I chose to live back at my mother's house. So definitely there's a lot of shifts. There's a lot of things that I'm being awakened to, realizing things about my childhood because I grew up here. And a lot of that were hitting me a lot. And that made me want to go into like a isolation and really evaluate things and really sit back and pay attention to all that's revealing in front of my eyes. And then that's when I realized change was uncomfortable. I have to pivot, understand what's going on, and move forward towards the path towards growth. Working as a spiritual coach, there's inner work to be done and outer work, and it being me by myself and having a newborn daughter. So in order for me to juggle motherhood, entrepreneurship, and also finances, so I needed some help. And part of my childhood trauma that I realized was I'm not used to asking people for help. I've grown up, I was raised to be very responsible. I'm not an island, and receiving help also helps me to get further. It takes a community, and I appreciate my community of people who has helped me through this transition, and I'm appreciative for the friends that Spirit has brought into my life, and even the friends that I have lost along the way. Like, I am appreciative of conversations, experiences that my friends, old and new, have brought to my life, because that's going to continue to build on my journey and help me in my journey of growth. And that's the goal here. No one's saying that you got to be perfect. I was told to be perfect. It was demonstrated and basically drilled into me to be perfect. And we're not perfect. As long as there is progression and growth, you're doing a good job. As long as you're not where you were yesterday, today. Whether yesterday you had this and today you have that, there was growth there. Whether it be pretty or not pretty, the growth is inevitable and it can be uncomfortable. So with my growth, I'm starting to practice more consistency. In my nature, my Gemini nature, I like to pick things up and drop things. And there's many times where I picked up and dropped off, and that's always been an internal battle for me with my consistency. But the drive internally will always be there. The constant spiritual reminders would be there. If you're in a fear state of mind, you're not going to make any movements. You're going to sit there thinking about it over and over and over again. And I'm guilty of this too, right? Where I would think about it over and over again and not make any forward movement. It would just stay here. And then those limiting beliefs of me believing like, oh, I can't do this. Oh, this is only for this person. Who would take me seriously? All of these subconscious ideas that we think are not true. That's why it's called fear. False appearances, false evidence appearing real. So I'm in this space now. I'm releasing the trauma. I'm going through like a rebirth where I've learned a lot more about myself regarding my self-worth, about my own internal boundaries that I set up for myself and the world around me. Family, friends, all around, there's boundaries, and that help keep me self-disciplined to check myself when I'm tripping. And I'm deciding not to live in fear, to step into more and more into my purpose, because each time I show up, things are getting better. I have a podcast set, y'all, and it feels good to go from idea to reality. So going forward, this channel is going to be about entrepreneurship, spirituality, and personal growth. We're not doing this alone. We're here all to figure it out on this universe, on this planet, in this human experience, to grow and evolve, to learn lessons and be the best person that we can be. So if you're with me on this journey, keep watching, subscribe, hit that like button. As I record, I'm going to be showing you the things that I go through on this entrepreneurial journey, my spiritual journey, and having conversations with you. And let's start talking back to each other in the comments, because we're not alone on this journey. You and I are on this growth journey together. So if I could be vulnerable and share my story, if I could be vulnerable and share with you my life experiences, maybe that would give you an inspiration to live your life, to take that step towards growth. Oh yeah, by the way, go ahead and listen to my podcast, Figuring It Out with Delia Divine, on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts at. And until next time, y'all.
So I don't know what's wrong with these little waste men out here, eh? Y'all need to know yourself.